up, going like she never done before. My hometown is coming to sight. If you think I'm happy, baby, baby, you're right. Two days on the road, gotta see my baby tonight. Let my baby bye-bye. Been taking a little while just to keep my eyes open wide. But I've been doing alright. I'm gonna dodge them skills all night. 2 days on the road, gotta see my baby tonight. I see now you're heading on down the line. Get a little over when you know you like folks away behind. You're doing alright. You got the same thing every night. Days on the road, gotta see my baby tonight. What's gonna way behind? But now I touch the Chevy and white. I've just been passing everything in sight. 2 days on the road, gotta see my baby tonight. Well, in the Frisco, I was heading down the eastern seaboard. I got my diesel wound up, she's going like she never done before. Coming in sight. If you think I'm happy, baby, baby, you're right. Days on the road, gotta see my baby tonight.
Oh, that was great. Colin, come on in and sit down. Have a seat. 6 days on the road. I like that one. Now, you've always been known as a bass player. I mean, the bass was only sort of invented in the mid-50s. What made you take up electric bass guitar?
Well, I was a guitar player from the time I was about 10 or 11 years old. And I think it was 1958, 59, just, you know, about the beginning of the 60s, they say. I went into a local gig and I saw Rex, who was playing drums with us tonight. He was in a band called the Rebel Rousers, and he was actually playing that tune by, you know, Duane Eddy. And I heard the sound of it, and I was hooked. It sort of went something like this.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I used to remember that on the jukebox in our local caf. But what were you actually playing yourself in the 60s?
Well, I mean, the sort of really great influence at that time was the Shadows, as you know. So I was in a band like a great many other people, wearing suits and doing steps and playing Red Fenders. I didn't like it at all.
You couldn't get the steps right? Huh?
No, it was the music. There was no freedom. There was no improvisation. So
right. So where did you go musically for your improvisation?
Well, I sort of got into the blues and jazz and various things like that, and I started to listen to those people, and I thought, well, you know, I want to play that way. So, right. You know, that was how it happened.
Rather than copying the records like all the other guys were doing.
I didn't want to do that. You know?
Yeah. So, I mean, you talk about the blues. I mean, how did you actually get involved with this man who's pictured on the wall here, Alexis Corner? Because I know you had a long relationship with him.
Well, I was working with a guy called Ron Asprey, and we just started to form a band called Backdoor, which did reasonably well. It was an instrumental band. And he knew the saxophone player from Alexis's group, who said he was on the lookout for a bass player. I was recommended by both of them, so I went down to the Beeve at Maida Vale and gave him the tape of the first 3 backdoor tunes, and he said, would you like to go to Vienna on Friday? This was a Wednesday. I said, what about a rehearsal? He said, oh no, you'll be okay, you'll know everything. And, you know, that was the start of it, and it lasted for 14 years.
That's a long time, isn't it? And you never had a rehearsal in that time?
No.
Straight on the stage.
That was it. That was it.
Yeah, that's amazing. But, I mean, as you said, his influence started so much, the Stones. In fact, you had a phone call from Mick Jagger just the other day, didn't you?
Well, I mean, that was in the summer. It was the same kind of situation as Alexis. It was I think it was again a Wednesday, and he said, I'm doing some things here at Compass Point in Nassau in the Bahamas. He said, would you like to come out? And I said, oh, I'd love to. I said, when do you want me to come? He said, can you come on Friday morning? You know? It was the same thing, but it was terrific. You know, Jeff Beck and Jan Hammer, and it was really a terrific team.
Yeah. Is he a nice guy to work for?
Yeah, he's very, very disciplined and very straightforward. He just, he had 4 or 5 tunes to do, which he wanted to try, you know, 4 or 5 different ways. So we did a lot of alternative versions of each piece, and I think it sounded good. You know, it was a lot of fun anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, the sort of stuff you were playing in the 60s must have been very different from the beginnings of bass playing. Give us an example of the 2 different styles.
Well, I wanted to play it more like a guitar, you know. I mean, when you hear the bass line in the last tune, which was 6 Days on the Road, which was something like, which would be the pattern. I wanted to play the guitar part, so I wanted to play, you know. Kind of thing, you know.
But that almost does away with the guitar player, doesn't it?
I hope so.
So when were you first introduced to the blues?
Well, when I was at secondary school, you know, I had a friend who had an elder brother, the usual thing, and he had loads of jazz records and, you know, and a marvellous blues collection. He turned me on to Leadbelly, Robert Johnson, you know, Mississippi John Hurt, all these people, and it really sort of got me into it. And then at the same time, I started to go down to the Flamingo and Ronnie Scott's after the Shadows cover gig on Friday night, and see all these people like Georgie Fame and Chris Farlow and everyone who were sort of playing that kind of music, you know, and it was an incredibly exciting time, and that was what I wanted to do. And I told the guys I was working with, I said, well, you know, this is the thing that's going to happen next. They said, oh no, you know, it won't, it'll never catch on. And then Georgie had the #1 with Yeah Yeah, so it really sort of changed from that point on, you know.
Well, will you play some blues for us now?
Well, you're running a 60s show here, so, you know, I'll play you one of the classic blues from that time, which is Jesse Fuller's San Francisco Bay Blues.
Lovely.
Got the blues on my baby, left me by the San Francisco Bay. Ocean line, it took me so far away. I didn't mean to treat her so bad. She's the best girl I ever had. Made me cry and say goodbye. I want to sit right down and die, and I ain't got a nickel, ain't got a lousy dime. You don't come back, I swear I'm gonna lose my mind. If you ever come back to stay, it's gonna be a brand new day. I'm walking with my baby by the San Francisco Bay. Sitting looking through the back door, I wonder which way to go. Girl, I'm crazy about, since you can't love me no more. Gonna give me a freight train, 'cause I'm feeling blue. Right all the way to the end of the line, thinking only of you. Meanwhile, in another city, I'm just about to go insane. Thought I heard my baby, and the way she used to call my name. If she ever come back to stay, it's gonna be a brand new day. I'm walking with my baby by the San Francisco Bay. Walking with my baby down by the San Francisco Bay. Ocean line, it took us so far away. I didn't mean to treat her so bad. She's the best girl I ever had. Made me cry and say goodbye. I want to sit right down and die. And I ain't got a nickel, ain't got a lousy dime. I don't come back, I swear I'm gonna lose my mind. If she ever come back to stay, it's gonna be a brand new day. I'm walking with my baby by the San Francisco Bay. Walking with my baby by the San Francisco Bay. Walking with my baby by the San Francisco Bay.
Oh, thanks, Colin.